I think this market needs something just fresh, something new, something different to think about other than just a continual drag of just inflation, interest rates, recession fears, all of these sorts of things. And that potentially is just around the corner because we've got company earnings season that is now starting in the US for the third quarter. We're going to get Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley reporting later this week. 3 of those are investment banks. I don't expect that they're going to be great earnings from those guys because when you look at Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, they derive a lot of their income from trading activity, mergers and acquisitions, IPOs, which are really not happening in 2022 to the degree they were happening previously. But Wells Fargo is a retail bank. That could give us some decent information on what's happening with retail sales, retail spending and consumers and what they've got in the bank and their debt levels and servicing those debt levels. And then, of course, on the 13th of October, we've got the latest inflation report. And that's going to give us an indication of whether inflation is still starting to trend down. Inflation is starting to trend down, but it's just not coming down at the pace at which we would like it to see come down. So until we see that change, until we see something new, some new positive news, unfortunately, guys, markets are just going to continue to grind along the way they are. Unfortunately, a little bit lower, but for those of us that are longer term investors, we can just continue to drip feed our money and continue to buy shares in the businesses we want to own. And we're getting at substantial discounts right now, which is great. We just need to have some patience and good temperament to sit on our tails long term. But right now, company earnings season will ramp up. We'll get the banks first, then we'll get all of the big tech businesses about 10 days after that, and then we'll get into all of the big retailers, and then eventually the big box retailers down the tracks, the Costco's, the Walmarts, the Targets, Lowe's, Home Depot, these types of businesses. So hang tight, be patient, look after your temperament. See you tomorrow.